got an impact. We got it made, well, besides the fact that we have to fix stuff all the time. We don't quite have it made yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Hi there, welcome back to Ferris Farming Organic. Today we're gonna fix up the plow, get our field ready for the cornfield around the home place that we are gonna plow in over the course of the next couple days. First things first, we're gonna let the tractor warm up. At least it's not 10 degrees this morning. Now that we got the tractor warming up, you guys fell. I'm gonna kind of walk around the plow here and just look at everything, see what I need for parts over in the seed shed. We'll walk over there and grab some parts. Looks like a couple shears need change. That one's bent down. You can see with this zoom in, we'll probably change that one. And I know there's a landslide missing on or falling down right there. That's not good. And then half the share, or not half of it, but the tip is off of that one. So not a whole lot of maintenance to do, but we need to put new, whatever we'll call it, little plates also on there. But yeah, not a whole lot of maintenance to do before we get running this 12 bottom plow. The 14 bottom plow is not fixed yet, sadly. It is still in 2 pieces. So that will not be running for a while, or until we have time to get that work done. But I figured, since it's not too cold out this morning and it's not windy, that I'd go over the plow a little bit. Alright, we'll start from the back and work our way up. So this back wheel is what I call the furrow wheel, or the back furrow wheel, because that makes the furrow that you put your front tire in, and that also runs the third hydraulic. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, but I've never really shown exactly what it does. So when I'm done with the field, I'll come back here to this lever right here, and right now it's flipped down for road mode, but I'll flip it the opposite way that it was in the field, and then that third hydraulic will turn. It'll pivot on those cylinders right there, and you can you can move it every way you want. But I try to get it lined up so the middle of the window, so it's not tailing out to one side, it's right in the middle, and that seems to follow it pretty well actually. You'd think it would just kind of go its way, but it actually follows really well. You can make some pretty tight turns. There's a bunch of grease zerks on this thing, and I'll point them out as I go. There's a couple right here for this cylinder, and there's 4 right in here for this back one. You can't really see them super great. There's also 2 more on this cylinder. Those need greased. All these I'm pretty sure need greased 10 hours. Yeah, one on top of there. There's just a lot of grease zerks you have to do on this. So usually in the morning while I'm fueling or something, I'll knock those out. And on all the arms, there's one here on the inside. I don't know whether you can see that, the inside, and then on the other side the same spot. Moving over here, there's your stand to put it down. This is the middle. This is where this right here is where the other plow broke in half. Right there, that beam just snapped. And what's holding it together, there's these 2 big pins. There's a big bushing right there. There's 2 big pins on either side. There's one right there, and there's one right here. And all the hydraulics are obviously hooked up. But those is pretty much what holds the plow together. There's this big, that's about 4 or 5 inches of steel that are on those pins, hooked onto the pins right here, hooked onto that. But that's pretty much what's holding it together. This big cylinder right here is what swings it. Well, that's how you can kind of control how the plow was lined up. Moving up here, 2 big middle wheels. Those plug up a lot. if you have corn stalks that aren't chopped up pretty good. And then a thing we added to our plows, we added this crate. We just welded it on, and we put all the parts, like all the shins. I'll cover all the part names later, but that's where we put all of our parts, the used parts, the good parts, all that stuff. And then I'll find the arm that has everything on it so I can explain it good. We'll use this one right here, and we'll also start from back here. So there's these two separate plates right here that go on to the, oh man, I call them landslides, but the other part's a landslide too, I'm pretty sure. If I had my chisel, there you can kind of see it. There's another plate that runs the length of that, and that's what these bolt through, if that makes sense. I have to change one, so I'll probably take a video of that. So then going to the front here, the shin needs changed. There's dirt inside there. This is the shin. This is the share right here, this bottom piece with the tooth. I'll probably change most of these because all the tooth, you can, that one right there still has it. But once these get wore down or hit a rock and these chip off, sometimes these springs, I'll go up and show you guys that later. But this is the mold board, and then what it's all attached to is what I call the frog, and that's pretty much just you can, you probably be able to see it. This one is dirt. You can see very faintly, if you look real hard, there's this, and it curves down. It kind of, I don't know, it kind of just makes a place for everything to attach to, like all the shares, all 4 bolts on the shares bolt into that, all the bolts on the mold board, all the bolts on the shins also bolt into that. And then we don't run them on our plows anymore because we thought we lost more of the soil because it tipped it over more. But there's these like fins you can put on these that it rolls it over. Like the plow already rolls it a little bit, but this just rolled it all the way, and we didn't really like that. Here's the springs that I'm talking about. These can trip up, like they'll just extend straight like that, and the plow won't be in the ground. If that tooth is off or bent back or something's just wrong, you'll be able to tell pretty easy looking back if it trips up and stays up. Sometimes they trip up because they hit a rock or something. So yeah, that's a little bit on the plow, or I thought I covered it decently. Just give you a quick rundown of everything, and there's obviously more stuff that I'm forgetting. You know what, one thing I'm forgetting right here, the sun is real bright. These tabs right there, those tabs have been a pain, and you know what, that one's cracking right there. We should probably weld that. So you can see that it's cracking. All right, now we'll come to the next one. This one that I'm going to show you has already cracked, and we welded on like a horseshoe type thing to make it stronger, reinforce it, because sometimes when you hit rocks, those trip up, and they just, I think over time, depends how many rocks you hit. Tillage is just really hard on equipment, and we've had bad luck. But this is what the new and improved ones are, and that's just like a big, about an inch thick metal horseshoe that we welded around the arm, and then we put the bolt through that and welded it onto that. So you do lose the ability to, well, on these you don't. You can see these bolts, top and bottom, they're not welded on. So we still have the ability to change the depth or the tilt of the plow. I'll talk about that too a little bit. But yeah, we've had that problem a lot lately, the past 2 years, of those bolts snapping, or even the weld snapping on a couple of them. Ripped up, pulled out some pretty big rocks. Did a lot of damage to them. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I have to say about the plows. It's really fun to watch it go in the field. It's fun to drive, I think. Oh, got my bucket of stuff. Don't worry, Radar, we got our impact now. We got one. No more turning wrenches for us. We got an impact. No more hard work. The rest of the fall is gonna be awesome. We don't gotta do nothing. Got our battery ran grease gun. Got an impact. We got it made. Well, besides the fact that we have to fix stuff all the time, we don't quite have it made yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So as I drive over to the sheet shed, say that 5 times fast, I'm going to show you guys the cornfield that we are going to plow in. Oh boy. As you can see, it was kind of worked up. We mock tilled it a couple days ago, or throughout the course of the last couple days. As a tree. Yeah, we mock tilled it or disked it in, so the corn stalks are even more chopped up, and that is about perfect for me because I'm plowing, because that means the corn stalks will flow a lot better in between the big arms of the plow and those 2 front wheels that are pretty tight together. The corn stalks don't flow very good if they're not chopped up a little bit through the plow. Or that's one thing that I've noticed very common in the past couple of years, is that the corn stalks plug up the plow. And obviously you don't have that problem in alfalfa because there's no trash in it. Well, it depends how many weeds there are and how good the cutter does. But usually there's not much trash in the alfalfa that will make you plug up. We're done with that, changing some parts. Now we're gonna fill up with fuel and probably put a little bit more coolant in this tractor. We have not had very good lucks with these red quads this year. The coolant, like reservoir and pump, whatever you want, all that garbage, and these quads is not working properly. Well, thank you for watching today's video. Now that we got it all serviced and tractor fueled up, we can start plowing. And we're plowing in some corn stalks, so the next video is either going to be me talking about that, plowing in corn stalks, plowing alfalfa, the benefits of it, why we do it, all that good stuff. I would put that in this video, but I do not want to make a 30-minute video, and I don't think people really want to watch that. So we're gonna call it a video there. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you aren't subscribed yet, subscribe. We're getting close to that 1,000 mark. We're about 740 right now, subscribers. So we're getting up there. The goal was 1,000 by the end of the year. I know I said the goal was 500 this summer, and we got past that pretty quick. So let's get to 1,000, and then whoever gets the free X9 at the 1,000 subscriber giveaway can be in a video if they want, or they can come around one of the tractors or combines. But yeah, follow the Instagram, it'll be in the description, and we'll catch you in the next one.